All right, Sonny, don't bring it up yet, but we are going to be moving on to the next segment, and we're going to try to rush through this. But I thought it would be a lot of fun to do a type of power rankings, but these are going to be different than what you're expecting. Usually with power rankings, they take last year into account. We're not doing any of that. We're only taking week by week to account. We have no knowledge of what happened last year. We have no knowledge of who was in the Super Bowl last year. We just have 1 week of data. So I think this is going to be fun. Just imagine it like somebody that just started watching the NFL this season. They don't know anything about football. They're just like, okay, who's good in week 1 and who wasn't? Just plain and simple. We are calling it Noobo's 9. Sonny, go ahead and bring up Noobo's 9 for me. Now, the first thing you might notice, Ray, that you're going to be frustrated about, that I did not include the Patriots, but let's talk about it, all right? Number 9, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. I was very, very impressed by this Raiders team. I got to say, Derek Carr absolutely impressed me because this whole offseason, Ray knows I was crapping on Derek Carr, talking shit about this guy. I'm like, he's an average at best quarterback. But he was in command of this offense, and I think that Gruden is actually doing a very good job because this defense played a lot better than they should have. So I think Gruden is doing a very good job. I have them at number 9. Number 8, that's right, the Washington football team. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but I told you guys, watch out for this Washington defensive line. And it was absolutely shown for showcase in week 1. And again, guys, for those coming in late, we are only going by week 1. We have no other information. We don't know anything else. All we know is what happened in week 1. That's how we're ranking the teams. Washington looks like they can win some games off of this front 7. I'm telling you, if they can get pressure on these quarterbacks like they were getting on Sunday, and if Dwayne Haskins can continue to play like he was playing in the second half, I like this Washington football team. I think that they were one of the best off of Sundays.
Let me tell you, my boy Chase Young.
Yep. Look like a freaking beast. Absolutely. Game changer. No doubt. You're right, Sonny. We should have traded up the whole draft to get him. So, no.
The whole world should have.
Yeah. All right. And then I have the Bills. Again, you guys already know my feelings on the Bills. I think they are a great team, great coaching. My one question mark is Josh Allen. And I got to say, I was kind of impressed by what I saw by Josh Allen. It still wasn't like the level I would like him to play. He still had those inaccurate passes, those overthrows, those underthrows, those things that Josh Allen does, 2 fumbles. So there was a lot of mess from the quarterback position, Josh Allen, but I still think the Bills, one of the best teams that we saw in week 1. Then I have the Packers above them. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was just on point, 14 receptions for Devontae Adams. I like this game because Aaron Rodgers was like, okay, Matt the Flower, right? Matt the Flower. You want to draft Jordan Love? F you, man. I'm going to come out and just ball out and show you what I got. So we'll see. We'll see if they can continue doing this. If Aaron Rodgers continues to play like this, I'd like the Packers. The Saints, great defense, very well coached. Obviously, Kamara's a beast. Michael Thomas did get hurt, so we'll have to see what's going on with that. Drew Brees wasn't great, but I still think that the Saints are going to be in contention. Their roster's amazing. It's a great team. The Cardinals at number 4. Pretty high, but I'm pretty high on these Cardinals, man. They had a great game. Kyler Murray was somebody that I predicted could take that second-year step like a Lamar Jackson did, like Patrick Mahomes did. I think if there's one quarterback that I were to predict this season to happen to, it would be Kyler Murray, and we already saw that DeAndre Hopkins was a game changer for that offense. Number 3, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson was damn near perfect. Awesome. That defense is great. Very well coached. They're going to be in contention. And, of course, the Chiefs looked amazing. They looked just as well as they did last season, like you were expecting. Great roster, great win for them. And, of course, I have the Baltimore Ravens number 1. But I don't think I'm being a homer here. I think you can definitely say after 1 week they look like the best team out there. Now, granted, a lot of people are saying maybe the Browns aren't as good, but on paper they have the team. So that's the reason I have the Ravens at number 1. So, Ray, what do you think about this list?
I don't disagree with a lot of it. I have the Ravens number 1. I have the Chiefs number 2. I actually do not have the Seattle Seahawks at number 3. I beefed up this Seahawks team a lot Sunday night without watching the game. I did it purely based on numbers, but I watched this game yesterday, And I thought for a guy who went 88%, not that I wasn't impressed, it's not the right word, but I wasn't blown away. Maybe my expectations were too high.
Okay.
I totally disagree with your defense thing. They gave up over 500 yards against the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yeah.
450 to Matt Ryan passing. I think they put another almost 75 yards of rushing up on them. So I have them in your top 9, but I don't have them that high. I have them lower down the list. I'd probably have the Cardinals sitting at number 3. I actually don't have the Saints in a top 9 if I had to do a top 9. I watched that Buccaneers Saints game. I wasn't overly impressed with both teams. I thought they both played really sloppy, and I was really disappointed in the Saints, who shouldn't have, because they're the exact same team as last season, and I thought there was too many mistakes. The Packers should be right behind the Cardinals. The Bills, yeah. I mean, if we're only basing it on 1 week and we don't know anything else, I mean, Ron Rivera, way to go.
Yes.
My boy, my boy, and then Dwayne Haskins, had an okay game. Give it to the Raiders, man. I guess based on a week, I'd put them there. I was a little disappointed in Carolina. I thought there'd be a little bit more fight. I know the game was close, but it wasn't close in my mind watching that game. I thought there would have been a little bit of fight, and I really would have. I don't know who I would replace the Saints with, though. I don't know if I'd want to put the Patriots. I'd probably have the Patriots as number 10 as my Florida team outside your top 9, because there were just a few mistakes that didn't deserve to be there. So I guess I'll keep the Saints at number 9, because off the top of my head, I can't think of who to replace them with.
Okay, so
But
fair enough.
They'd be number 9 on that list. Not as high for me.
Okay, good. So I was expecting to be called an idiot here, so I'm glad that I'm not getting so much hate. Yeah, I did. I was kind of going back and forth between the Raiders and the Patriots, but like I said, the whole thing about Cam Newton being like the only one that I saw, and if we can continue to see more out of that offense, then they will definitely make my top 9. So, Sonny, what did you think about this list when I first sent it to you? I'm sure you thought I was absolutely insane.
A little bit. Couple of things. Yeah, I like the Cardinals win. I think the Saints are a better team. I would disagree there with Ray. I think the Buccaneers they have a lot of firepower. They have decent running backs as well. But Tom Brady looked like what Tom Brady looked last year. What I saw from Brady in that game, which I watched because it was the football game of the week or whatever it's called. It was exactly what I watched from the Patriots, but more weapons on the receiving side. But Packers, I would have put Packers higher. Aaron Rodgers looked phenomenal.
He did.
Washington football team here, I think it's good that you rank them. I love that front. The reality is they got the benefit of a very, very banged up O-line from the Eagles. They didn't have the right guard. They didn't have the right tackle. And then the backup right tackle got injured during that game. So they were bleeding. So they got 8 sacks. Now, again, I think they are a hell of a D-line. I told you that I think they're top 5 D-line in the league. But they got that benefit. So overall, I mean, I wouldn't mind if you would have put the Patriots there, to be honest. I thought Patriots played well enough to deserve a ranking there. If anything, if you tell me, I would have just put the Patriots there probably over the Washington football team. I thought the Raiders played well. I thought they were going to win that game. And the Cardinals, I watched a little bit of that game too. And I mean, I think they're legit. They're going to be good. I think the big thing with San Francisco right now is who are their weapons? They don't have receivers right now.
Yeah, that's fair. So the reason I'm high on this Washington football team is because just think about how many bad offensive lines there are out there, man. This front 7 is going to eat. So
think about when they play the Giants. That O-line.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
That O-line is bad.
Yeah. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington ends up leading the league in sacks. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if that's a hot take. I'm going to say it anyway.
No, because right now that they played 2 times against the Giants. That's
true.
10 sacks per those games.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So there you go.